Hi, welcome to Mind Your Business. I am Ahmed Duncan. I love to help individuals and businesses grow through coaching, training, mentoring, writing, and events. I founded the Fabulous Woman Network to celebrate and develop African women so that we can all create wealth and impact people. Mind Your Business is our weekly podcast where we share tips and tools to help us all to create wealth and impact people. Welcome back. I have entitled today's message, The $1,000,000 Question. I have $1 million question for you. But before I ask, I want to share a story with you. I recently met a young man in our neighborhood. He came into our house and asked that he mows our lawn for us because he noticed that our lawn was overgrown. The first time I told him that we already had someone and thanked him, and he left. A few days later, he returned and asked that he mows the lawn. And we said again, we do have someone. Well, by then we hadn't found the person who usually sorted us out in terms of gardening. We couldn't find him. And after a while, we were like, okay, let's go find this young man and ask him to come and help us. He came and he did a good job. In fact, he did a really great job and we were happy. But we didn't have regular job for him. So occasionally when we needed something, in terms of gardening, we would call him. And every time he came, he would ask, Madam, why don't you hire me full time? I can do this, I can cook, I can do other things, housekeeping. It's not only gardening I do. He mentioned all these other experiences he had working in kitchens and things like that with, different people, Chinese and all that. I didn't have a regular job for him. So I told him that for now, when we need you, we will call you. And then a couple of weeks ago, we started Fab Youth Camp. And because it's a long project and we needed food daily, we brought in our caterer, who would usually come with her assistant. But this time, the assistant was not part. So I reached out to this young man and made him an offer. I mean, since he already had kitchen experience, he was really hardworking and all that. I asked him, would you be willing to assist our caterer, and described the sort of things he would be doing? He said, yes, why not? And then I asked him, how much would you take? In my mind, I already knew how much I wanted to pay, but I wanted to ask him based on certain previous conversations I had with him. And he hesitated to tell me the amount. I could see he was really struggling. He kept saying, oh, mommy, whatever you give me. So when he says that, and I'll ask, so if I give you 1 cedi, is that okay? Oh, no, mommy. I was like, just tell me how much you would take. I encouraged him and kept pushing and pushing. Eventually, the amount he said was like 25% of what I was willing to give him, what I knew that I wanted to give him. But I was like, okay, it's fine. I would pay him more anyway, but he should start. The next day, he came and said, oh, mommy, I need to take my wife to the hospital and blah, blah, blah. So he needed a deposit, which I gave him. And then a couple of days later, when I followed up on how he was doing with the new assignment, I was told that he wasn't coming regularly or he was coming late and all that. I was like, what's happening here? Okay, so can you find him for me? It took a while before we eventually found him. I was on my way coming to the house one day when I got a call that, oh, he has come and he's looking for you. I said, okay, ask him to wait. I'm coming. And then a few minutes later, I was told, oh, he says he has to leave. I was like, leave for where? Ask him to wait. I eventually got to the house and asked. And then I saw him and I was like, I am told you are in a hurry to go. What's happening? Why are you in a hurry to go? He says to me, he's hungry. He's hungry. I'm like, okay, first of all, you are in a home, you are in a house, and there is food here. If you're hungry, you can ask for food. He said, oh, they gave me tea. And in my head, I was laughing that this man is hungry and he was giving tea. Anyway, the second thing is, I was like, well, the assignment that I gave you that you're to be doing is with, you are serving caterers, and this means that there's food, and I know that every day you are given food. So how come you've not been going? This is where he told me that he doesn't mind the work which involves carrying dishes or washing them, doing kitcheny stuff. He doesn't mind. However, there are some ladies who have been coming into the house, and anytime they come and see him working and doing all these kitchen stuff, he feels shy or he feels embarrassed. And this is why he's been hesitating to go. I was sad when I heard these words. I was quiet and I was sad. Actually, I did understand him from a cultural perspective, being a man, a married man with children and all. Some people believe that, matters of the kitchen are not for a man. And so perhaps from the way he's been raised, he doesn't feel comfortable with women seeing him do these things. In fact, he said that even if it were in some corner where nobody was, he would be okay. It's just the fact that women saw him doing that and he felt embarrassed. And so this was why he had stopped going, or he would go irregularly and all that. I was quiet for some time, and then I asked him, so these ladies who have been seeing you, when they come, do they say, oh, gentleman, this job you're doing is not good for a man. Please take this money and go home? He said no. Then I asked him again, will this shyness feed you and your family? You say your wife is pregnant, you need a lot of money and all that to send your child to school as well. Will this shyness feed you? He was quiet and he said, Mommy, no, I understand what you're saying. I was sad not just for him, but also for myself. I remembered all the times that I was concerned about what people would say about me, and so I didn't take certain steps. I didn't make some marketing activities as I had scheduled to. I didn't ask for money that I thought I deserved for a job because I was afraid, I was shy, I was worried about people's perception. I had doubted myself, so many things. And so that's what made me sad. And I also remembered other people I've spoken with who had similar situations where they couldn't ask for what they deserved, or they couldn't do certain things because they were concerned about other people's perception about them. And this man was hungry. He said to me, in English, he meant he's weak, he's shivering, he's hungry. He said he hadn't eaten all day, and the only food he had had was that tea that had been prepared for him earlier. Thankfully, my lady was making some other food for him as we spoke. So while we waited, I walked over to see the job he had done for me that day. He came to my house and he raised some beds for me so I could grow. And mind you, the first time I raised my own beds, I was able to do maybe 2 or 3, and my entire body ached. It was hard work. But this young man came, and within like 30 minutes, he had finished the entire plot that I was, planting on, where I have that specific vegetable garden. He had cleared it, and he had done such excellent work with the beds. It looked so beautiful. I looked at it, and the thought that came into my mind, the question that came into my mind was, how can this man be hungry? This man is hardworking, physically fit. He does excellent work. He has multiple skills and experiences working in kitchens and other different fields. With all these things, how can he be hungry? I think I was sad and I was also angry a bit. And I was thinking, this is not right. And I was just thinking about myself and thinking about other people. And I was in pain. I couldn't get it. Why does this happen? How can such people be hungry with all the resources that they've got? I don't have the answers. It's something I keep musing on, and I keep every day I'm trying to ask this question and see, is there a way that this can change, this narrative can change, that an African child, a fabulous child of God, is hungry because they are shy, they are afraid, they are doubting themselves, they don't know their value. This is not right. We are fabulous children of God. We are royalty. There is no way that we should go on being hungry because of things that, other people have overcome and we can also overcome. So anyway, like I said, today's is a question. It's $1 million question. And the question is, how can he be hungry? How can any fabulous child of God with resources, such skills, such talent, such excellence, such health and wealth be hungry? Let's muse on this together, shall we? Let's reflect on this. I don't have any answers for you, but this is my question to you. What do you think? What do you think is happening? And what can we do so that we stop being hungry? So that we have abundance, the abundance that God has promised us, that is literally around us. How can we take it? Take what belongs to us in the way that God means for us to take them, and help ourselves and others around us? How can we make impact? How can we create wealth and impact others? I'll be happy to know your thoughts in the comments. For now, I'm going to end here, and same time next week, God willing, I'll come your way with updates of Fab Youth Camp. Until then, toodles, and please don't be hungry. Bye.